So YTPC, got another pot Rebecca review for you. Seattle Pipe Club's Plum Pudding. This is a complex Balkan blend. It's got 5 different ingredients in it: Black Cavendish, Virginia, Latakia, Orientals, and Perique. And we're going to talk about it. Let's go ahead and get us a jar note real quick. So, go ahead and say right off that this is a very complex blend, starting with the jar note. Very complex. A lot of smells, a lot of layers, a lot of notes, a lot of tones. So first and foremost, especially like if I haven't smelled it in a while, I just open the jar, take a whiff, it's very sharp, tangy, almost acrid. There's a barbecue smell to it. Faint sweetness. A little bit of smokiness. A little bit of woodsiness. Smell the Orientals. A lot going on. Yeah, it's tangy. It's high. It's got a high note to it. And I still almost every time get like a barbecue. A tangy barbecue. But it's very pleasant. And you can just tell right away that the smoke is going to be complex. Even though it's so woodsy and tangy, there's still some sweet there. I guess from the Black Cavendish, I can get that coming through, and that's good. It's in the background. Mostly getting Orientals, tanginess from those Orientals, and the barbecue. It's loud, sharp, high. Got a pot packed here. This is a Missouri Meerschaum Mark Twain. So I'm gonna fire this plum pudding up. I'm gonna tell you what I'm tasting, tell you what I think about it, sort of where it takes me, and we'll talk about the blend a little bit. Incensey smokiness. But I gotta tell you, this blend, I would definitely start out saying I wouldn't recommend this blend for beginners. This is a complex and very layered smoke. Even in just that first puff, I mostly get Orientals, smoky incense, but I also get everything that this blend has to offer almost at one time. You get Virginia, you get smokiness, you get Orientals, you get that little bit of that fruity Perique, and then under it all there's a baseline of sweetness from the Black Cavendish. And I'm already getting all of that from just that first little char light. So This is put out by Seattle Pipe Club. They have their own line of blends, and they are an actual pipe club that still operates in Seattle. And they claim to be the largest active pipe club in America. 100 plus due-paying members. They were established in 2001 by co-founder Matt Gus. And he was just a pipe smoker that, kind of like a lot of us, when he started, he was sort of looking for information and wanting to learn about pipe smoking, try to figure it out. And he took to the internet, which in '01 was still fairly young, and sort of reached out to people in the greater Tacoma area, and to see if anybody would be interested in starting a pipe club. And he had some responses, and it went from there. It grew from there. But that's how it started, is this guy was just sort of inquisitive about the hobby and wanted to know if anybody else would be interested in getting together and sort of talking about pipe smoking, starting a pipe club. And he had some interest, and it took off. And they still get together. They meet the second Wednesday of every month at a place called Smoky Joe's Cigar Lounge in Fife, Washington, which is a suburb of Tacoma. And they're pretty active. They still do annual barbecues, they do dinners, they do auctions, they do a slow smoke contest every year. They're the only pipe club to sell their own blends to the public. That's pretty cool. So they launched their blends in '07. This was one of the first ones that they put out. They started with 3 blends. It was Plum Pudding, Mississippi River, and Seattle Evening. This is the only Seattle Pipe Club blend I've ever smoked, and one of their most popular. So it's a Balkan blend, and again, components are Black Cavendish, Virginia, Latakia, Oriental, Perique. And you taste every bit of it, of those. You get some of all that. There's no flavorings. Comes in a 2-ounce tin, 8-ounce tin. And this is blended by Sutliff. That's who blends Seattle Pipe Club's blends for them, is Sutliff. And I wonder, now that they're done, who's going to be blending these blends. And I hope somebody does. I hope somebody picks them up. As far as I know, they're still available. You can still get this online. It's still available. But if Sutliff was the one producing these tobaccos for SPC, who's going to do it now? They were very exacting with their blends, and that's why they chose Sutliff to do them, is because they wanted them done a very specific way. Smoky, woodsy sweetness. This blend, to me, is like a mansion with several rooms that you can go in and check out. There's just so much going on. When I first smoked this, I liked it, but I couldn't wrap my mind around it. I could not grasp what I was experiencing. Same thing the second time, and then really the third time. It took me several smokes to finally figure this blend out. It almost made me mad that I could not get a handle on this blend. But it's just because it's so complex. There's so much going on. There's so many ingredients, and they're all doing a lot. But after I smoked it and I spent some time with it, I figured out that nothing is screaming louder than anything else in this blend. It's all working in concert together, just like I'm sure the blender, Joe Langford who blended this, I'm sure that's how he intended it, to all work together. And that speaks to the brilliance of the blending here. So Seattle Pipe Club Plum Pudding, English Balkan pressed tobacco, a rich blend of Latakia Orientals, Virginia, Perique, and Cavendish. Plum pudding is an English Balkan blend like no other. Rare tobaccos crafted and pressed carefully together. Many pipe smokers say it is their perfect tobacco. Nirvana, said one reviewer. Master blender Joe Langford created this treasure for the Seattle Pipe Club, our perfect tobacco. Delicious, smoky, spicy, and positively addictive. Truly an exquisite tobacco to share. Enjoy this original cake of 6 rare ingredients. Latakia joins with Turkish Orientals, Virginias, Cavendish, and Perique, crafting the most sought-after small batch blends in America since 2007. So that's who this dude is right here. This guy on the tin, on the jar, that is Joe Langford. And he blended this. He created this blend. And he is who blended Seattle Pipe Club's blends for them. And he's dead now. We lost him a couple years ago. But he was very talented. And that joker blended casually in his garage for 25 years. And then he hit it big with Mississippi River. This is just, as it's going down, it's sort of melding together like tobaccos do. It's turned into a great smoke. It's sweet. I'm getting a little bit of some fruit now. The Perique's kind of coming through, almost like a plummy figginess to go with that, the wood and the smokiness. So, and yeah, this is a blend that sort of develops as you go down. Everything just blends together so good. The retrohale is a little spicy, a little sweet. But so Mississippi River, the recipe came to Joe Langford in a dream. And he woke up, he jumped up, wrote down the components, and the rest is history. He died in 22. But his blends will go on, no doubt. He used to own a tobacco shop in Dodge City, Kansas with his wife. So he had a lot of experience in pipe tobacco. Yeah, this blend keeps a tart tanginess almost the whole time. Sometimes it recedes a little bit, but it comes right back. A little bit of grass. I would say the Virginias are there probably for body. The star of the show here to me is the Orientals. And I guess the Orientals, then the Latakia, then the Cavendish. The Cavendish does a lot in this blend. It gives it a nice, like I say, a very back line of sweetness, and it's good. There's plenty to ponder while you smoke this, though. This is one of those blends that if you don't concentrate, you can kind of lose it. It requires your attention. It snaps you back. It makes you think about it. When you take a puff, you go, wow, what was that? That was an interesting note. You know, and you get that the whole time with this. It keeps you interested. So, Shadow Pop Club does several versions of this. They have the Plum Pudding Special Reserve. They have the Plum Pudding Bourbon Barrel Aged. I've never had any of those. I've only had the plain. But man, is it good. Very complex, a lot going on, expertly blended. If it wasn't, something would take over. There's so much going on that it has to be delicately balanced. I seem to smoke good in this cob. I have smoked this in a briar pipe and it does good too. But I tend to reach for this Mark Twain when I smoke this for whatever reason. So it's a taller bowl. Yeah, sweet, spicy, smoky incense. I would say it's a sort of a cake flake deal. There it is. That's a big chunk of one. Very pretty. This has got a few years of age on it. And as it's aged, it's sort of calmed down a little bit. It's calmed down a little bit. But also sort of, it's come together the way that a soup will come together as it cooks down. As this ages, because it's pressed like this, the tobaccos are really melding together. So, those of you guys that are into drink pairings, the guy Matt Gus, co-founder, he suggests that this pairs well with Lapsang Souchong tea, which is a Chinese smoked tea. Never had it. Might be something to try though. But yeah, definitely an advanced blend. I wouldn't start off on this if you're a beginner, or maybe even an intermediate. I would definitely have some good amount of pipe smoking experience under my belt and a good bit of blends under my belt before I tried this. Again, the first time I smoked it, I could not get a beat on it. I thought it was great. It's got a great reputation. A lot of people love this blend. But when I first got it, I wasn't ready, and I didn't know. I smoked it, and I was like, "Oh, that's really good. What did I just smoke?" But if you like Balkan blends, this one you got to try. Yeah, this blend is, I would say, is special, and I bet you most of the SPC blends are pretty special. There's a couple that I still kind of want to try, especially if they're not going to be made anymore with Sutliff being shut down and everything. A complex but nicely done Balkan blend. I just got like a fruit tone right there, just on that sort of half retrohale I did. I got like plums and almost like fig Newtons. You just get so many notes with this blend. It's so complex. But if you can handle it, if you can hang with it, you just follow it wherever it takes you. Well, thank y'all so much for watching this presentation. I really appreciate it. Feel free to drop a comment. If you smoke plum pudding, tell us what you think about it. If you don't like it, tell us why. Be glad to hear what y'all have to say. Smash that like button if you dig this content. If you don't mind, maybe tell a few pipe smokers about the channel. We'd really appreciate that. Subscribe. See y'all next time for a nice, quiet pipe in the woods.